Hi everyone, this is Lori with 3 Keys Astrology. I'm an advanced intuitive astrologer wishing you a happy new year. This is your weekly forecast for the first week of January 2023, and I usually do an overview of the entire year, so you can be expecting that to come very soon. I'd also like to wish all of you Capricorns a very happy birthday. And I'd like to invite all of you Cancerians, which means any of your 3 keys in Cancer, or you born with a stellium, that's a group of planets in Cancer, to come and study astrology with me. I'm a teacher. I have students all over the world, and you will be enjoying a life that you can't even imagine once you embark the journey and begin to learn the science of astrology. It's 6,000 years old. It's not pop, though pop astrology can be fun. It's a really incredible field that has lent its science to many other fields. So go to my website, www.3keysastrology.com, to see what I offer you. Teaching, consultations, and of course readings, many different kind. So this first week in January is really exciting. And just like I told you, we would have a wonderful Christmas forecast. I pray that many of you enjoyed the fruits of the Spirit, enjoyed the holiness that is this time of year, for giving, for caring, and for loving the family and friends that God gave each of us. It was wonderful at my house, and I thank all of you for your kind wishes and sweet sentiments. I really appreciate them. While we close 2022 and embark 2023, close 2022, embark 2023, we still have the Saturn squaring Uranus. And as I said last week, nostalgia is a real thing. And bringing up the past and trying to resolve the past is quite important right now. The biggest events of the week are that on Friday we'll have a full moon in Cancer. Again, Cancers, come study astrology with me. You have a sextile to Uranus and a nice trine to Neptune. And that is, all of we that are strongly Cancerian have an opportunity to really reach our heights spiritually and soulfully this year. That was true in 2022 as well. And that's a high blessing coming from heaven. Now, not only do we have a full moon in Cancer, which for Cancers mean you're closing a part of your life, and for all of you that are not Cancerian, everyone's got Cancer in their birth chart. So that part of your life is where there's going to be some kind of closure and a brand new beginning. Not only is the full moon going to culminate Cancer, offering us this brand new beginning in this brand new year, which begins on a Sunday, the holiest of days of the year, rife with blessings. I can't begin to tell you, and I'm sure all of you that are evolved feel this. There's a really nice solid foundation beginning for humanity. Yes, we're ingressing into the age of Aquarius, but the one of the coolest tones to set our brand new year is about communication. Now, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of communication. The most important part of communication, though, is an understanding. And Uranian insights can beam you into an understanding that is beyond anything you've ever enjoyed before. So we have some interesting things going on. Mercury's in retrograde, which can infer misunderstandings, miscommunications, and delayed things, like all of the air traffic that's being delayed that I warned you about would happen for our holidays this year. It can mean delays in travel, delay in communications, letters not getting there on time, deadlines not being met. We have Mercury in retrograde. Mercury is the planet, an air planet of communication. We've got Mars in retrograde in Gemini. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. So we talked a lot about this. You can review my videos if you're new to the channel back in October and November, and welcome all of you that are new, and the new friends I've made, the new students I have, and the new readings that I've done. It's exciting to be sharing these parts of your life and answering these intrinsic questions that you have via astrology. So when we've got an action planet in an air sign ruled by an air planet, we in both retrograde, Mercury is, Uranus is, and Mars is at this particular time at the beginning of this new year. And it sets the tone to tell us what needs remedial work. Where can you improve, re-improve, reinvent, reestablish, reunite, rekindle, restore, revise, and mostly repair? Well, it's about communication, everyone. It's clear. It's as clear as the night star Venus. She's an evening star right now. And she's playing an important part in these 3 retrograde planets because she's ingressing into Aquarius, which will be a big complement to Uranian energies and all Aquarians. Aquarius, you'll look prettier than you have any other time of the year when Venus graces you and blesses you. She offers beauty. She offers wealth. She offers abundance. So Aquarians can be grateful for that. And Gemini and Libra will benefit this beautiful energy. Now, most especially Taurus. Venus is our ruler. So I'm going to encourage you during this video to get your family to an observatory and to get yourself outside, because we've got planets gleaming in the night sky. Venus is going to be exceedingly bright. She'll be brighter than Mercury. And you'll also be able to see Jupiter and Saturn in the night sky. You'll be able to see Mars. He indeed is red. You'll think you're looking at a red star with your naked eyes. But Venus stays there until August, when she now becomes an evening star. This energy is quiet and receptive energy. That is, you don't have to go after loved ones. You don't have to go after improvements. You don't have to search and seek out. Venus doesn't do that. She's abundant within herself, and she attracts wealth and beauty and abundance and prosperity. She is covering the energy where Uranus is invoking truth in your life. Uranus in retrograde, the higher octave of Mercury, is giving the world and all of humanity a symbolic brotherhood feeling, an energy to want to unite and understand people that don't share the same culture, religion, or truths that we do. This is really important. I think the heavens right now at the beginning of January strongly proclaim cooperative improvements. And that accent on communication begins with listening. You see, Mercury rules the ears too. Now, I have a deaf client that I love. Shout out to Brooke, because she can type and read my readings. Sometimes when you see Mercury with Saturn, it's an indication of deafness or one who refuses to hear. That stubbornness in communication, where you're the one doing all the talking and not much listening. When Mercury, Mars, Uranus are all in retrograde and Venus moving into Aquarius, it's asking you to make sure that your time is shared in communicative efforts of value. Are you talking nonsense? Mercury in retrograde in Gemini can mean those people who gossip, or that useless communication when arguments circle round and repeat like broken records after decades. And that kind of derogatory and futile communication is what the heavens are asking us to remedy. So there's a lot of moving air in the atmosphere right now. We're going to see winds. We just endured a blizzard here where I live in the Northeast. The air's stirring up pretty bad, and as I explained, we could expect floods because Jupiter's moving from Pisces back, and it's going to do that. So we're going to have a pretty wet winter into spring and flooding. If you're in areas where that's a worry, you have now a little bit of a warning and heads up to make that those corrections where they need to be. More importantly, though, that in this ingression of a new year, Capricorn's birthday, Venus into Aquarius, and a full moon in Cancer, this is for all of humanity. And these humidors are of fresh air. So we've got a ton of air energy, fresh, new winds blowing in, new changes being made. We've had major changes in the areas of our sex lives, our money, homes, and new relationships when the nodal axis moved Taurus and Scorpio. This is complementing these changes that are coming, that are at the full moon culmination. For this full moon will be sextiling Uranus in the North Node. So Taurians, Pisces, Cancerians, we are really in the major winds of change. If any of your signs or three keys are Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, come get your readings. Come get consultations if you've already gotten birth chart readings. I have here and now readings, though, that show progressed you in this moment in time. And I've got a really special reading called a Time Lord reading. All of my services are available at www.3keysastrology.com. So the energy of retrograde means all rewords, means you need to repair, you need to remediate, you need to make new and fresh, and mostly offer the highest understanding. Mercury and Uranus. Get high, get spiritual, get honest. Uranus will not tolerate fakery, anybody that's living two-faced, anyone that's living fraudulently. This is super important this week because we have energies that as the week culminates, the full light of the full moon in Cancer is going to unveil truth. Mark my words. So if you've been living and worrying about the honesty or integrity of maybe your employment or a neighborhood group or a board you sit on, or anything where you've got a little bit of question and a little bit of wonder, the truth will be revealed this week. And as hard as it might be to accept these things, it's also really a matter of being free. Uranus is the pure unadulterated truth. I have a really fun video on my channel called Riding Lightning and a Fire Snorting Bull that I made a few years ago. This video still has truths because of the nodal axis. So check out that video, and also because of where Saturn and Uranus are. That energy I explain archetypally, but I do it with characterology so that you can understand the ethers and energies moving and these winds of change that are quite profound. We've been rebuilding, and not only do we have immense air energy that's beckoning our repairs to help us accent our listening skills and improve our cooperation and communications. That's really the matter. Next, we've got a beautiful sun in Capricorn, which also complements Taurus and Virgos. All Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos are already the sorority earth of the planets, and there's a sisterhood among us because we share practicality, reliability, stability. We offer these things to our friends and family. And believe me when I tell you, this first week and this first year, this brand new week is about family. Strong when the moon is in Cancer. We'll be closing chapters of our lives as we lose mothers and grandmothers sadly this week, because that is also the full culmination, that full cycle of a lifetime, or of motherhood, or of closing those fertile years and entering menopausal years. That's also a strong theme. But the other most prominent element right now that is so good is that we've got the sun in Capricorn. We'll have the moon in Taurus to begin our brand new year. With the North Node and Uranus, we have got Pluto in Capricorn, where he's been, or she's been, because this is an energy that can be both sexes or neither. But it's the energy of powerful transformation, which has upended and changed commerce, banking, delivery services, many of the ways we use our money and our power to trade, sell, and enterprise on this earth. So that's significant. Significant will be all of you Capricorns. You've got to come get your birthday readings for the year that you're in, because profound changes will be happening to you, especially as we near the mid to the end of the month for you. So we have got a ton of earth energy and a ton of air energy. This is masculine and feminine in balance, which is very good, because as we get to the full moon, we're going to have a sun-moon opposition. We have that at every full moon, and that's when tensions can rise. Now, that fresh air gets complemented when the moon moves into Gemini. But for Gemini, it can be a little tenuous because Mars is there in retrograde, helping you, Gemini, get more in touch with your feelings and more disassociated with any grief or anger that you're holding and forbearing against others, especially siblings and neighbors. So Mars in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, Uranus in retrograde, dear Gemini, is asking you to take a look at how you're twinning off, how you're two-facing, how you're gossiping, how you're causing these rifts with brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends. That's your job this year. Sorry, I'm showing my mama, little mama figure, and the bossiness that's in me. The only fire energy we have is holy fire. You see, Jupiter moved into Aries, back into Aries. So it can grace you, Aries, but it can also make you more indulgent, and it can also make you have a bigger tendency to be pushy and more impulsive. It can cause you, Aries, to be a little thoughtless and not so good at communicating. So put that in check and listen up, because where the sun and all those earth planets are is not really your friend. This can be a little bit of a difficult month for you, Aries, and I'm happy to help you. It'll get easier when the sun and moon move into Aquarius for you, but for now, this is a challenging time of the year for most Arians. The water that we have on this earth is Neptune. Now, if you love my former teacher, the late, great Nikola Stoyanovich, Neptune is at a 22-degree mark. And this is great for the full moon, though I expect tides to be high. Lots of flooding on Friday with this new full moon. And it can be catastrophic if you believe in Nikola's degree theory, because 22 degrees is the killer be killed degree. This can mean danger for those seafaring ventures, cruise ships, and again, areas of flooding. If you have a propensity for that, shore up now. Do what you can to protect your property and your land. It also infers for all of us a lot of emotionality. This will be a very emotional full moon, and especially if we're losing loved ones, mothers and grandmothers. So that's it. But the tone of the week and the tone of the new year is clearly about communicating, cooperating, and repairing our relationships. The nodal axis of Taurus and Scorpio is our fate for the world, and that's in the area of sex and money. That is what holds together families, corporations, foundations. How well are we getting along? How well are we working together? Or are we working against each other? These are the questions. January 2023 wants you to repair and refine all of your communication skills so that you can relate better, especially between men and women. This is not the time, no matter what certain factions promulgate on two-faced news channels, anybody that tries to put your cause down, your race, your culture, your faith, is automatically in the two faces of division, and that can be two horns saying, I don't like you, you're not as good as me, and blah, 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 and we're better. Anybody that's got to put you down to raise themselves up is showing the two faces of Gemini. And with Mars in retrograde, that's war from the get-go. So what are your words creating? Are your words destroying? Are your relationships about abundance and peace and joy? Or are they edgy and angry and agitated and antagonistic? most personal is Taurus and Scorpio. There is no more personal signs than the signs that are about love and affection and about our sexuality. That's the theme of the year and has been since 2018 and will continue for a 7-year stint. That is why we that are Taurus and we that are Scorpio have been undergoing major changes in our relationships, and all people on earth are undergoing major changes in relationships, how we relate, what sex means now in 2022 and 2023, what does fertility mean in 2022 and 2023. We're going to be having major changes that are a bit scientific, scary, and a little too uncomfortable for me, this double Taurus who's all about family, when there will be a time in life that's already being curated in China with artificial wombs. We already have had artificial inseminations and petri dish babies being created since 1981, and now it's transpired into artificial wombs. Pretty soon there will be no pregnancy. You won't have to be pregnant. That's a scary thing for people that are Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns. We're the mommies and the sisters of the zodiac. We like being pregnant. We like raising families. We love our children and our grandchildren, and we believe in traditional old-fashioned that babies need mommies and mommies need babies and mommies need daddies, and the Holy Family is sacred. That's undergoing major changes, but you have the power to refuse to let that infect or change and transform the way you and your family pray, eat, sleep, and live. That's coming though. Mercury retrograde is saying what, where, why, who or whom, when of the matter. That's what you need to say, what can I do? Who is it that I need to fix things with? Where do I need to go? When is this going to happen? And you need to do that. Mercury's only going to be in retrograde until the 18th. So while there can be misunderstandings and miscommunications, you have this forecast to say, hey, I've got 18 days to make repairs in that area. For 18 days, I'm going to be a better listener. For 18 days, I'm going to see where I can make amends. Now, Mercury in retrograde is going to be there until January the 12th, and he's going to station direct then. But that is saying, who do I still have unresolved grief with, unresolved anger, any strife, or any conflict? That's where I need to make amends. Uranus is going to end its retrograde cycle in on the 22nd of January. So you've got 22 days to say, what do I need to learn? Well, astrology is ruled by Uranus. Come and study astrology with me. Get over there and sign up for your learning modules. You can pay for all 5 at once, or you can pay for each module one at a time. And it's asking you to think higher. So get yourself back to school before the spring semester starts if you haven't begun college. And it's never too late, even if you just take a class or two. But Uranus is calling your mind higher. It's asking you to discover new truths. It's asking you to progress into the future. It's asking you to forgive, forget, and to live without a false face, without a false self, without facade, without masks, without shadow. Uranus is only not your friend when you're not where you're supposed to be. And he'll make sure you'll get ejected out of that marriage, that job, that lifestyle, that relationship that's unhealthy. That's the exciting part of the week. Now, Uranus retrograde is really saying it's time for me to be free. So any kind of nervous tension you feel or anxiety you feel is the indication in your body to tell you that you're not where you don't belong here. That this relationship's not right for me, or this job's not right for me, or I need to, hone up on some skills, mental. This is mental. All of these planets are mental energy, though Mars is action. And Mars retrograde says, do your words and actions align? Are you walking your talk? Are you talking your walk? Are you doing all the talking and none of the walking? Are you doing all the walking and none of the talking? That's the remedy that you need to do. And it requires truth and bare naked honesty. So the pure unadulterated truth, your truth, and it is a measure with Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde, and Uranus retrograde. It is a measure of your honesty and integrity in this life. This age of Aquarius and all of these planets right now are really speaking soul, your spiritual self and your soulful self. So we've got some major events going on that I want to talk to you about. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Venus in the night sky. She's ingressing on the second day into Aquarius of January. And these are, with all the other planets that are in the air signs complementing Gemini, Aquarians, and Libras, and all of us have these planets in our chart, or I should say places in our charts. Planets can be tenanted or not, but we all have these. And this is, she's coming along to help you about value. What do I value? What do I own? How do I earn money? And how can I do it in an Aquarian, Uranian way? How can I do it where my work and my soul purpose benefits mankind, humanity, and brotherhood? Again, astrology is so helpful to so many. Any of the technological fields are ruled by Uranus. All the sciences are ruled by Uranus. Those of us that are very Uranian are naturally drawn to those fields of interest and expertise. It's ingenuity, it's innovation, it's invention, and it's about truth. And that can even relay over to law, truth and justice, societal law. Uranus rules the sky with Jupiter, and Aquarius is for all of humanity. So Venus moving into Aquarius is going to make Aquarians more beautiful, more prosperous, and bless them. Where Jupiter is too. Aquarius, you can be having a great, great time in this energy, and your birthday is coming, so you should also be thinking about your new beginnings, and there are many for all of you, for sure. So this ingression of Venus into Aquarius is going to help you remedy your money, your land and property, anything in pursuit of higher education, and it's going to be a high benefit to all things Aquarian. She is brilliant in the night sky. I'm telling you, she looks like a rare jewel, like a gleaming diamond. And this energy is so good for we that are Taurus and Libra to be outside, and especially Taurus. It's our evening star. As I said, you can also see Jupiter and Mars. Mars will be red. You can see Saturn, you can see Neptune, and you can see Uranus in the night sky. But you'll need to see Uranus and Neptune with a telescope. You won't be able to see them with your bare naked eyes. So she is a jewel, very, very bright. I hope that you connect to her energy, because you'll feel like you're really loved in a very peculiar kind of way. It's wonderful. Venus is the goddess of love, and that's prosperity for all Aquarians, your Aquarian houses and signs. This is great for friendships, groups, and your gatherings, and people that are of like mind, especially those collegiate groups, colleagues, especially astrologers who commune together. Very good for that. Now, 2023, I also have to mention, brings in some major planetary movement. So this will be a year of pivotal change for the planet. We've started to experience these changes in a monumental way in 2008. They peaked in 2018. We had a crash with a plague in 2020. We're at the rebuilding stage. But the planetary movement that's so major, that is completely reshaping the way we live our lives, very, very different from our grandparents. I'm 60 years old. In my generation, our grandparents were getting their first television sets. Look how far we've come in 60 years. In the mid-80s, we all got to use the internet. And now we're in this age of information with cellular phones and instant communications all over the world. We can beam x-rays and even operative procedures by satellite. We're connecting to Mars. We're connecting to the moon. The huge progressions are going to happen because Pluto is making a major ingression into Aquarius, which is profoundly going to affect all of you. With your 3 keys, Sun, Moon, Rising sign in Aquarius, or anyone who's got a stellium in Aquarius, anyone with a full 11th house, we're Aquarians. And this is pretty major, so you need to come and get your readings, especially your progress charts and your here and now and your Time Lord readings from me. I'm an advanced intuitive astrologer, and I've read for over 8,000 people to date, so all over the world. So come and learn, come and seek, come and find, come and search, come find your truth, find your soulful self, and live out that purpose. Astrologers help you with that. And any questions that you have about life in the here and now. The other big thing that's going to be is coming on May the 6th. This is a very big deal for all of you, my fellow Taurians. It's going to complement you Cancerians, and it's going to complement Capricorns and Virgo. So this is a huge blessing for we in the feminine signs, because Jupiter, the planet of big, huge blessing, is coming to shower us with so much love, auspicious grace. And so if you have your Sun, Moon, Rising sign, or a stellium in Taurus, 2nd house stellium, lots of planets tenanted there, Taurus rising, this is huge. Big, big, big deals, monumental changes because of the nodal axis, because of Uranus, and now Jupiter's there. You can expect to be flying forward into the future, feeling great about new home, new love, money, prosperity, abundance, and plenty when Jupiter, which has not been in our sign for 12 years. So that's huge. Pluto's moving, Jupiter's moving, and then Saturn is ingressing into Pisces. And that's going to happen on the 7th of March. Now, this is a little bit of a weirdy conundrum, I would say. The reason being is these two things are antithetical to each other. You see, Saturn is reality check, and he's about the rules and obligations and regulations and grounding down real time. He's the kind of duty that the military serves. It's what administrators enforce. It's what laws are made of, all the rules and reality. And Saturn is also death, one of the death planets, the final end, the last straw, the let's get real here. And let's get real is what it's going to be, especially for all of you Pisces. Now, this is not the energy of Pisces. This is the conundrum, because Pisces is spiritual. It's abstract. It's the highest, most evolved soul, spirit. It's God energy. It's what priests and nuns are made of. It is faith. It's devotion. It's all of those abstract, warm, and fuzzy connections we have to things we can't see, but we just know. It's soul stuff. Saturn's not soul. Saturn, show me. Prove it to me. I want the receipts. Did you punch your time clock? Where's your signature? Do you have a license? Are you registered, required? Have you met all the requirements to have this profession, this job, this? Saturn's like all about business. Saturn's reality check. So we're going to have, Pisces is really going to feel like they've been, remember those old-fashioned washing machines, for those of you that are my age, that our grandmas used to have to roll to squeeze the water out of the clothing before there was an electric washing machine? Speaking of 60 years worth of changes and what our ancestors went through as we ingress into these major changes. So that's how Pisceans are going to feel. If any of your 3 keys are in Pisces, get a reading. You're going to want to know what this is about. You'll have to face reality. You'll leave that dream state or feel like, whew, I'm all of a sudden awake, or somebody came and landed some reality and salted you right in the eyes. Salty is a good word for Saturn. It can hurt. It stings. Final ends do. And this is going to be a big theme for all of you that have Pisces this year. It's already beginning. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting conundrum for all of you. Now let's talk about the week ahead, shall we? So I love me some New Year's Day. I warned you in your last video not to go out. If you're going to listen to me, and some of you do, some of you don't, but that's okay too. You know, vive la différence. There is some really nice, I encourage you to stay home on New Year's Eve because there was some contentious energy and honestly some danger in that energy New Year's Eve. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check the channel. In fact, binge. Those of you that like criminology, forensics, and analysis, you will enjoy a lot of the psychological analysis I did on the trials I did, some of the murders that there were, the Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeff Epstein, Prince Andrew debauchery, and sinister sexual perversion to young women. I've got those analysis on the chart. I will promise, I've been promising you to do that. Love bloomed in my life in a big way for the first time in 20 years and changed my life last May. So I haven't been making as many analytical videos as I could and probably should. That's coming though. So anyway, love has to come first for we that are Taurus, and you that are my fellow Taurians understand that. So I love New Year's Day. And if you stayed in New Year's Eve and heeded my advice, you'll really continue that yummy, snuggly, cozy family time. First of all, because it's a Sunday, a holy day, a family day. So it's great for commitments and resolve. Why? Because we've got the sun trining the moon, which is very harmonious for couples, great for the general public, and excellent for family time. The other thing is if you got engaged or you're making marriage commitments to each other, we've got Venus in a complement to Pluto, which is excellent and can be profundity in loving relationships. This is so good. We also have an excellent harmonious conjunction with Moon to Uranus, which is excellent for home improvement, for family truth. I told you family secrets will be coming out of the closet this week. Anyone who's being deceptive, their mask will fall off to the ground. You're going to catch them in anything that's scandalous. The light of the full moon will show this, and so will this nice energy of moon with Uranus. And that is living in our truths and living in harmony in our home lives, with our families, and especially our neighbors. So this is yummy, yummy, yummy stuff. I really like the whole week, but for a couple of tricky things we'll talk about in a moment. The other thing is, the moon is going to be in Taurus. Now, I'm a double Taurus. And what happens when the moon's in Taurus? You'll be hungry. I'm not kidding. So this is great cookies and milk energy. This is great. Whip up your favorite comfort food. Share them with your neighbors. Have a lot of good family dinners this week. It's so important. You're going to be hungry, and you're not going to want air food. You're going to want that good stick to your ribs comfort food. Gravies, sauces, cookies, milk, sweets, pies, homemade tarts. I made lemon curd once and it was delightful. If you haven't done it, try it. Taurians love to cook. We know our way around the kitchen and we know our way around the bedroom. With Venus where she is and all the other planets, it's snuggle time. It's time to snuggle your babies and your grandbabies, watch movies, make their favorite foods, and make everyone feel special. That really is going to help the Mercury, Mars, and Uranian retrograde energy that is being complemented by Venus. So excellent first day. For those of you that make resolutions, it's perfect. This is a kind of energy that is for the kind of energy that bonds people forever. And Venus with Pluto is commitment. The kind where you share that ring and make that promise for life. It's very sacred energy. It's very good for home and family. I love it, love it, love it. It's a great way to start 2023 and keep that energy. Let it be a theme for you for the whole to carry you through 2023. This is a kind of energy that is unbreakable. This is when we don't let media and outside influences ruin our relationships, because there's a lot of that going on. Anybody that's devices, all these factions, all this two-faced news media, even medical dilemmas and divisions, and who do you believe, and the insurance company trying to control how your family's health, and schools telling you how to raise your children. Nay, nay, nay. 2023 says, hey, this is the way we do it. All that earthy energy says, raise your own children with your own values, keep your own traditions, honor and respect other people's, but don't let people divide you and the people you love. Huge. It's huge. It'll make a difference in how well your family thrives and survives. That's the energy. Thriving and surviving. Not just surviving, but really enjoying life. The bounty is here. Make sure you know that it's natural and seek it in natural resources and natural things like love and family. And don't be sucked into materialism and all the traps that come with that. All right. On Monday, January the 2nd, it's another great day. Oh, that moon Uranus is great for home improvement too, if I forgot to say that. Monday, January 2nd is a great day to hone your communication skills and to make peace, to seal bonds, and to show your concern. Why? Because we have Mercury sextiling Neptune, we have the moon trining Mercury, we have the moon trining Pluto, we have the moon trining Venus. That is so much love to share. I can't even tell you that translation of that is story time, movie time, family time, time with children, time with little girls especially, and mothers, to really treat the females in our families on high. Respect them and hold them way up there. Make their day. And so that's the translation of all that. There's so much love for you to care, so much abundance and love for you to share and care for everyone. Now, there's more beneficence on Tuesday, January the 3rd, because the moon is sextiling Jupiter and the moon is conjunct Mars. What this means is that you're going to have bounty. You'll have excess. This won't be a year where you're fretting over what you've spent for Christmas. Rather, you'll be more abundant for what you gave at Christmas. Moon Jupiter is very generous, and moon with Mars is very productive. So this is très excellent. I love this. And this is Mercury, the moon, and Mars saying, I think, therefore I feel, therefore I think, and I'm going to act, and it's all going to be harmonious. My actions and my thoughts are going to be proven, because you're going to see me show you how much I love you, how much I care about you. I'm not going to need to say a word. I'm going to show you. This is very, very sweet. So mark January 3rd to go do something really nice for someone that doesn't expect it, somebody that needs it, somebody that maybe you've neglected a little bit or haven't talked to in a while. There's a lot of beneficence in this first week. Oh my glorious goodness. Wednesday and Thursday are a little tricky though. So things get a little tricky on Wednesday with misunderstandings and miscommunications. And that can ruin your Wednesday, but for the Venus sextiling Jupiter. Now, these are the two best planets. And that energy and that attitude, Venus to Jupiter, says, nobody's going to pop my helium-filled heart or balloon. So don't let anybody pop your balloons. Life is your party. This is your birthday. This is your birthright. To thrive, to live well, to be happy, and to enjoy abundance, good friendships, great relationships, happy workplaces. Don't let anybody, because what can happen with those retrograde planets that need remediation is that we also have the moon in a square to Neptune, which is deception. And we've got the moon in conjunction to Mercury, which is high misunderstanding. And then we've got the moon in conjunction to the sun, where couples just won't hear each other. And bosses and subordinates will clash and collide too. But hang on, like I said, hang on to Venus sextiling Jupiter and the moon trining Saturn. And moon trine Saturn means we're ride or die. And nobody is going to break us up, and nobody is going to ruin our Wednesday. So I hope you grin and win your Wednesday and don't fall into the trap of misunderstandings, miscommunications, and letting people try to divide, separate, and, maybe get you fired, or somebody interfering with your marriage or your love relationship. Be mindful and stay high. Stay filled with love. Have your priorities in order, and keep those detractors and those people that try to separate and divide out of your circle. They don't need you. That's where you got to put your foot down, with those nosy, gossipy neighbors or friends that secretly enjoy your pain and always want to talk about the sad things going on in your life, or never call you unless they're in a crisis. That's not true friendship. Friends help you live well and are happy when you're happy, and that's important. So Thursday, again, is a little bit trickier than Wednesday because the full moon is building. And I told you this culmination is going to outliers. It's going to shine the light on family secrets are going to come flying out of the closet. Some skeletons too, I'll tell you. This is where you can't hide your shadow self. So because full moons enlighten and brighten the planet. But remember, we've got that opposition between sun and moon. So I recommend you put your tongue in the freezer on Thursday. And if there's anybody that gets under your skin, don't see them on that day. I would feign laryngitis if you need to. If you've got a nosy mother-in-law or a bitchy sister or whatever, whoever, we all have family members that get under our skin. So that's a day to get out your people repellent and slather it on thick, because that can be high aggravation. Now, finally, we come to the full moon on Friday, and that's a full Cancerian moon. I've already told you, Cancers, you need to come and study astrology with me. It's a great way with this sextile to Uranus that's happening. It's complementing Cancers. We've got brand new beginnings. We're closing old chapters and resolving old family issues, and we're having fresh starts. Sweet. The North Node is there, and this is new relationships. It's brand new homes. It's new places to live. It's so good, Cancer. Come get your readings. But we have the sun opposite the moon. And whenever the sun is opposite the moon, moms and dads can be in a bickering contest with each other. Authority in public will contest each other. We've got a lot of things going on in the laws where that's happening right now, especially in politics. The moon rules the public, and the sun is authority. So there can be some clashing going on there for sure. But overall, the energy is so sweet. I love it. So yeah, you can expect to find out some juicy family secrets for sure. Get your people repellent ready for Wednesday and Thursday, especially. Can be on the full moon too. The full moon will not be friendly to Libra and Aries. You're going to have the most difficulty. And Capricorn and Cancers will clash and collide with each other. Their parents will be, especially parents going through divorce or parents fighting custody, can be problematic. But remember what I told you at the very beginning of this video. The imprint of January 2023 is saying we got major social changes because of the planetary positional changes, because Saturn and Jupiter are both involved in new ingressions. And Pluto, which is the collective, undergoing major transformations in this age of Aquarius. Venus is there, though. But remember when I told you Mercury retrograde? Mind your words. Be a better listener. Be more thoughtful and cooperative. Mars retrograde. Do my actions align with my lifestyle, or am I living a double life? Am I a secret agent? Am I under the covers with another lover? Mars retrograde in Gemini shows two faces, friends. And the people most abject or subject to this kind of two-faced energy are Gemini, Sag, and Pisces. So they'll be the ones who get filched out and especially found out. If any of your three keys are there, and if you're living on the high of deception, because it can be heady. The sins of the flesh and sins of the mind and sins of thievery can be very, very heady for those that are involved in those kind of compunctions, but they're going to get found out this week. And for those of us that don't have two faces, don't live double lives, don't have a fake frontery, and don't wear masks, we can enjoy when they get found out. And I hope you do. So most of all, remember that these are some major soulful spiritual transformations. 2023 is going to be so good for Taurus, for Cancer, a bit of a mixed bag for Pisces, a little difficult until February for Aries, and then a warning to be careful not to be too indulgent this year, but high blessings. I'm really excited, especially for you feminine signs. So come and get your readings and come and study astrology with me. I love to teach, and my students will tell you how much fun it is. We have a private Facebook group. I'm kind of judicious about who I allow to be members, but that's 3 Keys Astrology on Facebook. So go to my website, www.3keysastrology.com. Thank you so much for listening, for joining me, and for sharing my videos with your family and friends and telling them about the work that I do, because it's so much fun. Take care, everyone, and Happy New Year. Happy birthday, Cappies.